The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch and Nick Fury. Okay, so if you're relatively new to comics, you might think that Nick Fury always looked like Samuel Jackson in the comics, and it was dead perfect casting when Samuel Jackson portrayed him in the MCU. But the reality is, Nick Fury, the original Nick Fury, was just kind of a older soldier white guy with an eye patch that has been around for a very long time. And doing the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. spy game. I mean, Nick Fury, I think, really came into his own in the 90s. When I say came into his own, let me actually back that up a little bit. There were some really amazing Nick Fury stories in S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 70s, and some great kind of classic pulp stories. But he generally kept to his own little corner. Nick Fury would show up every now and then, but it was not a character that was used terribly often in the mainstream Marvel universe, meaning interacting with Spider-Man and other characters. We'd see him show up, but he wasn't a constant figure. He would just kind of pop in and out. And then in the 90s, he started to pop up more, and they started to really kind of drill in on Nick Fury. Had those Jim Lee pictures where you'd have this very super muscular, Arnold Schwarzenegger body type Nick Fury with 8,000 pouches and like 50 guns. And then he would show up in comics as more of a authority force within Marvel. But anyway, there was a 60 years of Nick Fury double-sized anniversary one-shot that came out called Fury. It was written by Al Ewing, and Al Ewing, I don't hate Al Ewing, but he tends to be pretty polarizing for me. I think that there is. I think his Immortal Hulk was good. I think he was doing something very different. He was trying to do a few things in X-Men Red. I don't know. It didn't really take for me, but I know several of you in the comments do like it, and that's fine. But then when he gets kind of into the stuff he was doing with the Masked Rider and some of the other kind of more Marvel lore type stuff, he loses me. And it's not because he's going deep into Marvel history, because I'd like to consider I go pretty deep into Marvel history. But this stuff just feels off somehow. He has a kind of a trope way of writing when it comes to this stuff that definitely, I read the Nick Fury issue. It definitely came through pretty clear in this issue. But so what happens is in this issue, we have the current Nick Fury, who is looks like Samuel Jackson, and we have the Nick Fury Jr., and he encounters a mysterious new version of Scorpio who is trying to get their hands on the Zodiac Key. Now, the Zodiac Key and Scorpio and these characters had been part of a lot of the older Nick Fury comics. It basically forces the Nick Fury Jr. character to delve into his family history. There's flashbacks. He has a fight with Scorpio, and this basically a very deep cut. Now, he is on the moon having this fight. And he encounters his father, Nick Fury Sr., and Uatu the Watcher. Now, Nick Fury for a while became kind of the Watcher. This was during Jason Aaron's Original Sins event, where Nick Fury basically is chained to the moon and has to watch after the Watcher is shot in the face and the eyes are stolen. Was he shot in the chest? Who knows? Anyway, this was a goofy time. And they had this event more or less to get the older Nick Fury out of the way. So the younger Nick Fury, who was part of this event called Battle Scars, I believe, could be introduced. And this was the long forgotten, ignored son of older Nick Fury. And he just happened to look just like Samuel Jackson. Now, the goofy part for me in all this, and we'll see if you guys agree, is in the Ultimate Universe, they had Samuel Jackson was the Nick Fury character, and this predated the Samuel Jackson that was cast in the movies. And the Ultimate Universe, a lot of things were different. So having a Samuel Jackson Nick Fury over there in the Ultimate Universe didn't really seem like a very big deal. And I thought it was written pretty well and everything was fine. And so at some point, though, Marvel decided, we got to make him look like Samuel Jackson in the mainstream Marvel universe as well. And so they went through this elaborate, he's got a son, and the son magically lost an eye, and then he wore an eye patch, and then that got us to where we are. All in an attempt to kind of align the comics with the movies. Now, I think that there's 0 point to that. I think old guy Nick Fury running around, white and all, was just fine in the Marvel Universe. But the goofiest part is the Ultimate Universe characters, collided with the Marvel Universe in Secret Wars in 2016. And you could have just brought the character over, that way very nicely, like you did Miles Morales and the evil Reed Richards. You could have just had the character introduced here. Instead, you created this weird son of Nick Fury that looks like Samuel Jackson. You've got the other Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, over in the Ultimate Universe. And then you've got old man, original Nick Fury up on the moon, who's lost his hair and become the man on the wall, defender of Earth. But watching, I mean, just this was convoluted as shit. And I don't even know what they're doing. There's basically a theory that says that the reason why Marvel is once again kind of bringing this stuff up is because you have the Secret Invasion TV show, which is coming up in a few weeks, and that will of course star Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, and so they don't want to confuse readers, so we got to get this other character. Except if the goal is not to confuse readers, don't have Al Ewing doing stories at all, because his stuff taps deep into Marvel lore. Like if you don't want to confuse readers, like you got to go for something more, homogenous here rather than any of this shit. But regardless, in this comic Fury, basically it ends with old man Nick Fury gets the Zodiac key and basically says, I'm taking a vacation. Find somewhere I don't know all the dirty secrets under the rock, where I'm not looking through everyone through a damn sniper scope, where I can actually do some good and leave all this crap to somebody who will do good with it. And he uses his, Zodiac key to exit the 616 universe and head off somewhere else in the multiverse to become a Nick Fury there, somewhere else. And so that's it. Nick Fury can always come back, having experiences somewhere else in the multiverse, or some writer at Marvel can just kind of forget that this happened in the first place, which has happened to Al Ewing's comics multiple times, and he just shows back up again. But the headline is Nick Fury is officially, the original old Nick Fury is no longer exists in the 616 universe, bald-headed man on the wall on the moon or not. He's completely off the board. And now we've got young man Nick Fury, not Ultimate Nick Fury, who both look like Samuel Jackson, still hanging out, which provides nice synergy for the MCU. By the way, just describing all this tells you exactly why this is a mistake to bother trying to keep up with all this, because why the hell are you bothering? There's no point. But anyway, if you're wondering what original old man Nick Fury was up to, well, he was bald and stuck on the moon to defend the Earth from stuff. And he just used a Zodiac key to exit the Marvel Universe completely. So he no longer exists. And that means we're left with younger Nick Fury Jr. Running around to do things. So that's a lot of Nick Fury. Anyway, and a very convoluted way to make the comics look like the movie, which nobody cared or was asking for, I think. But what do I know? Anyway, did you care? Like, were you thoroughly bothered, and did you feel a good sigh of relief when the only Nick Fury that existed in the Marvel Universe was the one that looked like Samuel Jackson, which also looked like the one in the Disney Plus show? Is that you? Let me know why you care in the comments below, and thanks for listening.